if you want this person must have a job, keep it at the top, you know. I found things like be from the same background. For me, that was very important. So you will say, I want them to have grown up like me, with two parents that are very supportive and loving, but you could have that, but people would still not be the very same person. Okay. So be very open when making this list, but be very strict as well. Okay. So I did have a list, and I'm sure you guys are probably wondering, what was on that list? Okay, I'll try to remember it from the top of my head. I had the very first thing on the list was this person had to be God-fearing. The second one was they had to have a means of making money. I was not very strict about having a job, but I wanted this person to have a means of making money. And you're a businessman? Okay. Do you work at a 9 to 5? Okay. Are you doing both? Very okay. I was very strict about that because I knew already. I needed. Am I gonna sound like a gold digger now? Maybe. But do I care? No. You know, you want to have someone who is able to actually at least meet you where you are. You know what I mean? You want to know that should I lose my job tomorrow, I will be able to lean on someone else. Or should that person lose their job tomorrow, they'll be able to lean on me. Okay. And I was not going to support another man's child. Number 3, the person that I wanted to meet, I did not want them to have a child with somebody else. I really would want to experience having a child together for the first time, both of us. Not you telling me about, oh, I used to buy Huggies work better than Pampers. Wait. You know, and obviously we know we're not even gonna beat around the bush about this one. There are people with a whole lot of baby mama drama out there, and a life is involved. Okay, when somebody gives birth, that person will always be there for forever, bound by blood, bound by responsibilities, bound by that person has to eat, that person has to live, that person needs their mother or father in their lives for all their major life events and the little life events. So from flu all the way to graduating, all the way to you know, meeting a spouse and wanting your parents there. So a life will always be there. So I wanted to share that with somebody that was my husband, and my husband alone, not my husband and then also somebody else's father out there. Okay, that was number 3. I think that was number 3. Yeah. And then the number 4 was the background thing. I don't remember what number 5 was. Yeah, I don't remember. But anyway, my husband made the first 4, so maybe I just threw number 5 out the window because I was ready, you know. So yeah, some things you will, I think it was probably the language thing. Yeah, because I was just like, that does not matter. And then going into 6, 7 and 8, it was he must be tall. My husband and I are the same the same length. He must not be big. My husband is big. So yeah, it's probably such things that don't really matter right now. Okay, so yeah, moving right along, there were other relationships that taught me other things, but what I would want to say really is I remember my mom had somebody asking her this question of, how did you get to have 3 daughters all getting married? Like, give me what you are using. And my mom was like, one of the things I will tell you is you must tell your daughters not to make themselves wives before they are actually made a wife. Okay, right? You have to be willing to wait to be found. I know I usually use a whole lot of different terminology when I'm talking to my mentee and all my friends, because I will be like, I never say, "Ooh, friend, have you found a man?" I'm always like, "Ooh, have you been found by a man?" You know, because men thrive on doing the chasing. Men, want to find you, but also make sure that once you are found, you don't go there now and go wash clothes and be this person's wife without him ever asking you to be a wife. Like, who asked you? You're gonna be at the end of 3 years having done all these things, and you're gonna be upset and hurt, and you made me do. Nobody made you do anything, Cece. You woke up and decided you're gonna start sorting the laundry and washing it. You decided to cook. Nobody forced you. You decided to be wifey. You decided to actually. There are people who go to the length of even going to family gatherings. Who are you? And to tell you the truth, people talk behind your back. They'll be like, "Man, who are they?" But in front of you, they're gonna be like, "Oh, Makoto Sekai." No, babes. How are you, Makoti? Who Makoti raised you? No. Let's stick to these standards of being like. I personally used to be like, if people would be like, "Yo, my clothes are dirty," I'm like, "Okay, I will find you numbers for the laundromat, because that's all I'm gonna do. I'm hungry. Okay, do you want Mr. D's numbers?" Because we must really, some standards we must not break. Are people actually going to agree with this? Maybe it worked for you. Maybe cohabitating really did help you nudge the person into finally deciding 3 years later, or when you're already tired, to be like, "Okay, no, let's get married." When you've already given them. I know there are cultures that actually work on, once the person has, or the lady has children, you have proved that they can have children, then you marry them. Not my cup of tea. I'm not drinking. I'm not coming to that tea party. But if it works for you, then nice. But it's risky. It's a risky business. Marriage is a risky business. And how you get there, you must really draw out for yourself. I would really say to every young lady who's going to watch this video, to say, make your list, stick to it. No airy-fairy things in the list. If you want airy-fairy, put them there by number 10. Okay? Prioritize yourself over marriage. Okay? Somebody once said that if a man would ever receive an offer to leave the country, they would leave immediately without even thinking, "Yo, what is my girlfriend's gonna say?" But now us, why are we now, "I'll never leave my man"? Why? One, he can always fly over to come to you. If not, then there are males on the other side of the border. Okay, so really prioritize yourself. And there's also another thing that I wanted to touch upon that people do. Apparently people get married because they're getting old, and everybody else around them is getting married. What's going on? You're losing the plot. Okay, you're losing the plot. And I just want to say, you need to trust the process. Did I feel pressure? I felt a lot of pressure. Okay, because my 2 older sisters were married, and now, hi, abo auntie at the pits, guys. The worst of the worst of the worst of the ghetto. they will be asking, you are next, when, all those things will really, really, really probably push you to making mistakes or committing to people you never wanted to commit to. So please, let us just take the back seat in terms of feeling that like you're not progressing, because it's easy to go from primary school, high school, coming into tertiary. And what happens after you get a job, guys? What's the next thing? Husband and babies. Well, traditionally, I'm not going to go off into all the other different things that you can do, because we know they are all there and they are available. Traveling, picking yourself over everything else. But traditionally, that's how it rolls out. But who said you have to fall under traditionally? Just wait your turn. It's a turn, Sven. This is how it works. I don't know. We'll ask God one day. How was the line? How did you sort it out? But that would be my 2 cents in terms of feeling pressure. I did feel pressure, but I thought, imagine marrying pressure, or marrying under pressure, and you in this marriage a year later or 2 years later, and you feel like you can just take this person and take them to that auntie who pressurized you. Okay. So what else must we talk about? We must really talk about being ready for anything. I'm actually coming to a point that was very hard for me in terms of being ready for anything. We know the Bible says that a man or a husband, your husband will leave his family or his parents and will cling to his wife, and they will then become one. Stick with me on this, right? They will become one. But then ask yourself, who has this person been for the past 30, 35, 40 years that I was not in his life? They've had a family, they've had siblings, they've had friends that they've built a life with for 40 years, 30 years. He just met you for 2-3 years, right? Obviously, am I expecting him to cling to me and be my best friend? Yes, but I've also had friends, had family, had siblings that I've grown up with for the past 30 years. So let's not expect now for us to just forget about our families and clinging to each other, because once you marry someone, you actually marry everything about that person. By everything, I mean, I remember someone once said, you marry their family, you marry their pets, you marry the crazies in the family, you marry literally everything about them, because you are now committing yourself to be that you're going into. What do I mean about be ready for everything? Anything? I got married on a Saturday. I went to my honeymoon on that Saturday, later that evening. I had an amazing Sunday. On the Monday morning, my husband and I woke up to go for a hike. And before even reaching the peak, we got a call to say his father was ill. Okay, so his father could not even attend the wedding because he was ill, right? And then once we were on the peak of the mountain, we got another call he got a call to say actually his father was late. So remember, we got married during a pandemic, level 3 of a pandemic, so of the COVID-19. So lockdown regulations level 3 or 4. It was level 4. Sorry. So I had 12 people attend our wedding. I had not met all of his family. Okay. So now they're telling us that father has passed away. We were the closest people to the home, the home in Limpopo where father was going to get buried. So we literally had to abandon our honeymoon and now go home to start preparations. I've never been to this home. I haven't had the official welcoming as Makoti. They just know that their brother was getting married the weekend before or 2 days ago. So here I am, and the only person that I know is my husband. And people are walking in and they're expecting me, the girl who has never made a fire outside, to serve them pap meat from the fires. Me. It was the most, I feel like that week I was like literally in a trance. Yeah, I'm thankful for my sisters, my mom, and my brother-in-law's wife, who I constantly called to be like, okay, what must I do? There are people coming in. Do you think it's okay to serve them rice? People. You don't, okay, I'll just tell you the one thing. You don't serve them rice when they come on the first day to come and, comfort you guys, okay? So always have hot bap on the stove, okay? Whoever you get to actually make the bap, do that, okay? I'm not saying I make bap, because no, I don't. Okay, so whoever you get, you make sure there's always bap, and all I'm saying is you must be ready for anything. The 1 minute I was on honeymoon, and the next I was in an apron trying to fit into a new family that I had never met, wearing a mask, wearing a doek, wearing an apron. So when you literally give yourself over to someone, you vow to be ready for anything with that person. Okay, so in our journey there have been retrenchments, there has been COVID-19 positive testing, and there has been a whole lot of things going on in just this 1 year. Literally my 1 year has been a roller coaster. But would I recommend marriage? Definitely 5 out of 5. I would want anyone that I meet or come across to get married. I would really say it changes you as a person, because now literally you are sharing the rest of your life with another human being that has also had a whole lot of different ideas about how they want their lives to turn out, but now you have to come together, mesh it all up, and come out with something beautiful, okay, that will probably also influence others out there and the lives that you are going to bring into the world together. Okay, is the marriage topic done? No, this is just like we just opened the can. Right, is it a can of worms? Could be. Could be sour worms, nice jelly sour worms. But what I'm saying is, what I have learned from dating going into marriage is that you need to be ready for anything, like I've said before. But however, what I have learned is that you need a clear head about it. Okay, you need a clear head, and it's almost as if you must treat it. I read somewhere the other day that you must treat it like a business. Okay, you need to have a plan. Okay, you need to have a SWOT analysis. You need to know what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. I mean, marriage is an opportunity, guys. You literally need to make sure that whoever you find you can grow with, and you can literally be ready to face the world together. And you must also know your threats. Do I mean exes by this? No, I don't. By threats I mean the little trivial things that you need to tweak in your own life, or things coming from outside that could threaten your marriage. Like I said, we got sick, we got retrenched, we were sitting at some point with like financial decisions that were hitting us in the face, you know. So those are the little threats that you need to know of and be aware of what or how you respond to those things. Okay, I'm very scared of being hungry. So when we were sitting without money, I was very miserable. Okay, so do a SWOT analysis. Treat marriage like a business. And we still have so much to unpack. However, I think we must park it. Yeah. So yeah, I really think, please make sure that if you know a little girl, a young lady, let's put it like this, if you know a young lady who has so many questions about marriage, make sure they listen to this, make sure they ask me questions in the comments, and you must also obviously watch it, like it, comment, and tell me what you thought. This is a very broad topic. Thank you.